lot of storage. The storage were a very clever thing. You create storage, but then you can build on top and you elevate the ground so the rich people have a nice view on the sea. So the city is elevated, also protected maybe from big storms, and so the city is on top, and at the bottom you use it as storage, as you need that in a port. So later in the history of Caesarea started with Herod 2,000 years ago, and he continued and become a Roman city for 350 years, and then one Roman emperor called Constantine convert to Christianity, and he chose a new capital, not Rome but Byzantium, and he will rebuild Byzantium and rename it after himself, Constantinople, exactly. And from that moment, the historians call that period that is still Roman but not pagan, but Christian. It's called the Byzantine, after Byzantium. So the Byzantine in the east continue the Roman period, but with difference, because they build churches, they destroy the temples, and so on. So what ends the Byzantine period here? It's the Arab invasion. With the Islam that grows in Arabia, they conquer the land, it becomes Muslim, and that's the Caesarea collapses. The port is damaged, and the Arabs did not have any interest into trafficking with other countries. They were at war with the rest, so the port just is abandoned, is damaged, earthquake, tsunamis, you name it. The port is destroyed and it loses interest. Then the Crusaders arrive, they need a port because they're coming from the west, and they rebuild Caesarea. That is the part that the Crusader built. They have a wall, it's a square town. It's much smaller than the original Caesarea. They use a local material, they reuse them. That is what typical of the Middle Age. What do you have around a fortress? A moat. That's a moat. A moat, and then the glacis. That's a part of it's not yet the wall starts from there. It's a slanted part. It's made on purpose, because if the enemy comes to the moat, they will try to break the wall. They will use what? Battering ram. But the battering ram has very little effect on a slanted wall. So you see, the glacis will deflect the strength of the battering ram and not allow any damage. It was also making the wall thicker where it is important. At the top, who cares? Who gets to the top? So you don't have to build a very thick wall, only the base. So that's the part we're entering, that part that the Crusader built. It's a square structure. They're rebuilt. Look, that was the lighthouse of the time of Herod. You can see that tower. And they rebuilt it. They built a part of the breakwater, or a smaller port than the one of Herod, but they did it for. So that's one of the gates of the Crusader period. You can even see that the place for the hinges. You see there? The gates that were closed here. See these little what do you call that?
Yeah, that's a groove.
Yeah, groove, yes. For the hinges. Shalom. She's here from the time of the Crusade. Yeah. Okay. But of course the Crusader, when they built over the ruins of the Roman cities. So when you dig underneath, you find more Roman things like here. That actually was the port. What you are looking at here was the docks. Here, the dock. That means all the green part used to be water. You see there? How the water over the time has brought sand and so on and just filled everything. The moment the breakwater that Herod built was broken, it was a matter of time for the water to come in and bring sand, and like we saw there, and fill the whole area, so the port was not anymore in use. Can you see that is the actual docks here?
And the columns
That here, where the columns are, yeah. That were the docks. And that will be water if you went that way into the green.
So Crusader ships would have come and docked over there?
They come there.
Yeah.
There to a smaller port on a little bit of, because they could not use that original part. Okay, and again we can see the arches. Today it's a museum. The arches that were used for storage. You can see you have the docks, you have storage, but that also allowed to build a big temple dedicated to. I'm collecting my coins back, guys. Somebody told me we've been all around the world. People give coins and money to the guides. Israel is the only place where the guide is giving money to the people. Thank you. So, understand, that place was important because that's the main entrance. So when you arrive, what you want to show? You want to show off. You built a magnificent port. Herod built a magnificent port, and his what do you call that? His fame went all around. You know how long it took to build a city and the port? You want to guess? 12 years. In 12 years, Herod built a port where there was nothing before. You know, sailors were sailing along the coast, like overnight. What's going on there? There's a port. And when they entered the port, what did they see? Dominating the port, that elevated area, and on the top, the temple to Augustus. You understand that? We're looking how Herod is making a lot of show off. He's a king of a small province of Rome, but he makes sure that all Rome hears about him. And surely enough, the historians call him Herod the Great. You know, there are not too many great in history. We have Alexander the Great in the 4th century BC, and we have Constantine the Great in the 4th century AD. And the only great I know from my history books is Herod the Great, just in the middle. And he was, after all, a small king of a small province, but he was famous for the building of the port, and also for, at some time, even provided the prizes for the Olympics. No Olympics?
Yeah.
Started about 2,500 years ago. Let's go on the top there. You know what? No, let's go that way. That way I will be good on you. Not too much planning. So